Hello guys, welcome to Saints and Sacrifices, my little bit of the internet. Crazy world, eh? Crazy times we're living in. Sometimes I think like the world's gone a bit feral. So the way I would describe it is like, this has been going on for some years as well. It's like being in a pub where there's no last orders. You know what I mean? It's just never ending, and everyone's in there, it's crowded in there, and everyone's talking nonsense and rubbish. Everyone's got their point of view, you know what I mean, arguing, stuff like that, and it's never ending. And I was thinking about this the other night, and I thought of Saint Seraphim of Sarov, a Russian priest, Russian saint. To give you a picture of him: beard, snow, forest, the full works, as the Russians were. And he sort of like talked on this sort of subject of like, you know, don't try and sort the world out. Start on yourself first. And he had this saying, I've written it down, hold on. Here we go. So Saint Seraphim of Sarov said, acquire the spirit of peace and thousands around you will be saved. That's pretty deep, guys. That's pretty deep. And this is why I like researching all these old saints and martyrs of Christianity, because they come out with these gems that, you know, Orthodox, it's so relevant in today's world, which you wouldn't think, but it's more relevant than like a lot of like the modern churches are. Yeah. So it's not, so, you know, that's not a slogan, as I said, that's a threat to chaos. Yeah, a threat to chaos. Interesting, deep. Yeah. Anyway, so like the way that Saint Seraphim did this was that he didn't like watch bad news and like get into arguments and get into discussions and all that. He went the opposite way. He went quiet. And like in a noisy room or a noisy bar, everyone's having a beer and stuff like that. Everyone's shouting, everyone's arguing, everyone's got a point of view. The quiet bloke in the corner becomes interesting. And this is what happened to Saint Seraphim. Because while everyone's shouting and like doing all their, you know, usual, as we all see on a daily basis, he went quiet. And people flocked to him. Thousands flocked to him. And that's how that works. Strange, isn't it? Sort of like the quieter you are. So you sort of think like the louder you are, like the more you're going to be heard. And it's sort of like the opposite. The quieter you are, the more people want to know why. You know what I mean? Yeah. So thousands flocked to Saint Seraphim, a Russian saint. Nice one. So like in today's world, if you see something, wherever you are at work, shopping, on a bus, on a train, you know, stuff like that, don't jump in. Don't pile in. Find silence within yourself. And like, you'll feel much better for it. Basically, keep that stum. And you'll be better for it. Because I remember once someone saying to me, and it was like a big, I wouldn't say it was an argument, well, I suppose it was an argument at work, and everyone's like butting in and stuff like that, and it's like, woman said to me, like, oh, you're very quiet. You know, as if it's a weakness. And I said to her, I said, I've got nothing to add to the noise. And I don't see how being quiet and staying calm is a weakness. I see that more as a strength. And I've got that through orthodoxy and like researching the saints. Yeah, I mean, peace isn't being weak. It's contagious. Because people copy that. If you know what I mean. Anyway, guys, that was like today's little bit on saints and sacrifices. Hope you're all doing well. And yeah, keep the faith, grow the faith. Have a good week, guys. Bye.